Smashers, guess what? Another awesome day. You know what? I got to do this just because I'm going to put him on the spot. That there is Super Turbo Fireman Brian. I'm not going to use his last name because I won't throw it out there. You guys will go ahead and stalk him. Sit outside his house like a bunch of paparazzi. Go hunt him down. But you know what he's doing? Homework I gave him. Same homework you guys do. That banded hip flexion. It's terrible. The hamstring pull down. Oh. I'm watching him do it. And if you just want to see, just so you can get an idea, I'm going to block that pain face because it's just horrible. But it's pretty gnarly. And we're going to be talking about IT band. We could call it IT band dysfunction, IT band problems, IT band. We could call it high hip. We could call it knee. It's all that stuff because the IT band is that big, thick sheet of fascia that runs down the side, the lateral portion of that femur. And it's literally, it's like this thick, and it looks like just a big piece of sheet metal, and it's about as flexible. Stop rolling it. Don't roll it. Never roll it. It doesn't matter, because if you smash away on that IT band, I promise you this, you are never going to get that piece of tissue to get soft. Not at all. Because what it looks like is there's this blade that comes down and attaches down the length of the femur, and then that piece of tissue sits on top, and down one side is the vastus lateralis, and down the other side are the hamstrings, and then they come and they fan out along the knee. So if you look at it, I'm going to drop the J-hook just so you can see what the shiz I'm talking about. Good, I'm trying to be a little quiet because Vanessa's teaching the class, but so the IT band comes down here. What happens is you have the hamstrings that integrate into that IT band on the back side, and then you have that vastus lateralis from the quad that integrates on the front side and then fans out across the knee, and then you have this big chunk here called the flexor wad. You have this big piece of meat here, the TFL, the glute med, glute min, all that stuff kind of comes into this. So it's got a lot of support, and the problem is what happens is, I'm going to sit on this plate, what happens is that IT band gets torqued into a really funky position, starts to destroy knee mechanics, and starts to destroy hip mechanics. You get that patellofemoral tracking syndrome, no such thing, usually an IT issue, which is not even an IT issue, which is more of a hip issue. So we clear up the hip, strengthen out the high hip, the glutes, so you can externally rotate the femurs in the head or in the socket in the acetabulum, so those femurs can torque out and we can keep those knees out really far. Next thing you know, you got no IT band problems. It's just that easy. So stop beating the snot out of your IT bands and you'll be all good. So by the way, Brian's still doing the stuff over here. Just letting you know, it's still going on. So I'm going to show you how to peel that away. We're going to clean up all the mechanics in here. Now the stretch I'm doing, you've seen before, but it's going to be a little bit of a modified version. So we're going to stretch out all that tissue. I'm going to give you that TFL stretch. I'm going to show you how to strengthen it up, and then we're going to pancake all that tissue, and we're going to rip that hamstring right off that IT band. Doesn't that sound awesome? Good. So first things first, so we can do this, and we can do this with camera. Good camera angle. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a box, bench. Don't use anything soft because you'll fall. You're going to get the foot, so you're going to take a really, really, really wide stance. So I want you super wide. You're going to take the foot, instead of being up like this, so you can see the bend in my leg, you're just going to let it roll out to the side. Let that knee drop out. Take your hand, plant it on here. Really hunt around, really get a lot of turn in the hips until you find that hot spot, like right here. Feels like somebody's driving a railway spike into my hip. That's the spot you want to do. That's that pinchy, nasty. You're going to feel that in there, and just kind of scour around. Take your hand, put it all the way up. So if you need to do that, get really low, super low, throw that hand up in the air, and really hit that high hip. Hunt around. How long? 2 minutes. That's number one. Number two, we're going to hit that hamstring all down the back side. So you're going to grab lacrosse ball. So the lacrosse ball, remember, we're not on the IT and we're not on the hamstring itself. We're going to that relationship it's got right here, that little marriage that's going on here. We're gonna split it up. So you're gonna get on a box, same thing. Let me slide the box over just a little bit. Instead of moving the camera, I'll just move the box. You got your trusty 45. Take this, kick it down underneath. So that lacrosse ball is underneath here. As a matter of fact, how about I just turn this way? Man, camera skills today, huh? You like that? So lacrosse ball goes just on the side of the hamstring. Tuck that in. Take the plate. All you're gonna do is start kicking. And this is pretty grisly. I'm not gonna lie. What you wanna do is, you can see how I turn my foot out. Really, really hammer that home. So lacrosse ball's underneath, 45-pound plate on top. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work my way all the way down, separating that tissue. Number two, All right, number 3 is super basic. We're gonna hit that TFL. You've seen me do this before, but that's because it's important. If I repeat myself, trust me, it's because you need to do it a lot. We're gonna take a band, wrap it around, tuck in over each knee. So I've got the band around the low back, over the knee. All I'm gonna do is get into basic figure 4. So figure 4 position, banded figure 4. You can see I got the band here, band around the knee, All I'm gonna do is let myself drop off to one side. How long do we hang out? 2 minutes. That's gonna hit that TFL up in that high hip. All this stuff's gonna peel away. That's number 3. Oh, we got so much fun stuff to do right now. And this stuff just legit. All right, number 4, get your lacrosse ball. Let me drop this. Yeah, live sore, it's like my motto. Good, so you're gonna take this. We're gonna do things a little different. So you're gonna take this, tuck into that real big chunk of meat right up top here and roll onto it. Then take your foot, throw it on top and just pancake, smash, beat to death this big high piece. I don't want you rocking back and forth. I want you going across the fibers. So when you're going across the fibers of the tissue, you're actually breaking them down, separating them, cleaning up that sliding surface in between that TFL, that glute, all those glutes, and all the structures in here. You just gotta clean all that up. And just, the reason I have you do this is because it locks out the knee. What you can do is if you look, I've bent my leg behind me. You can't see it because I have the camera in front of me, but I bent my leg and we're really, oh, that's just awful. I mean, that is diabolical. You're just gonna smear away on that high hip. That's number 4. Number 5, we gotta strengthen, remember, we have to strengthen that ability to hold those knees out and be able to torque into that ground and keep that foot position good so the knees don't collapse in and load up that IT band, which is where a lot of the problems come in. You get that valgus knee, get that navicular fault. By the way, that awesome sound in the background, those are Airdynes. Isn't that just the most sick sound? Look at that, isn't that awesome? So this, you can see, so I got 2 bands set up. I need to show you this. Band setup, these are both at knee height, and you're gonna be stepping in them in a crisscross way. And then you're gonna be doing 4 seconds down, 4-second pause, 4-second up. Courtesy of Dan Bailey's timing, by the way. But those slow, methodical contractions are super important. So let's see if we can do this without messing up the camera view too much. So what you do is you step in. So you're stepping in the band in both sides. The band goes at the knees. So the band is crisscrossed across each knee. All right, so all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get about slightly wider than shoulder width, and all I'm gonna do is push my knees out, drop into the squat, and then come all the way back up. I'm gonna show you that from the front. So you can see exactly what the hell I've been doing. Because I realized from the back, all you're watching is my butt. There's so much more to see than just that. So let me do this. There we go. So what you can see is I'm right here. Yeah, we're just mad camera skills today. Love the lacrosse ball kicking up right here. So you're gonna take a band, right? Band number 1. Band number 2. This is the coolest, most funky, fresh way to really clean up that high hip and get it super, super strong. So feet, toes forward. All I'm doing is I'm pushing the bands out. So they're coming crisscross, pushing the bands out. Nice upright position, catcher's position, doesn't matter. Sink down, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 into full hip extension, right? And then all the way back down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go even lower, pushing the knees out, and then all the way back up. How many of those? 3 of 10. Oh. I've done 3 of those, and my hips are already lit. So that's what, 5 things? We've got 5 things to do. 5 things to clean up that IT band, free it up, get the hips moving the way they're supposed to, clean up the IT, clean up the knee. Hey, I'm Trev, Smashworks. I'll check you guys out tomorrow. Have an awesome day.